What's up, motherfuckers? We are back.
Back in the New York crew.
Shut the fuck up! Jesus Christ, I can't have one fucking normal intro anymore, god damn it!
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of After Credits. I'm the host with most, I am Barnyard, and for the first time I'm sitting in the back seat and giving Liam the shotgun seat because I'm not an asshole. And with me to my left is the man that never has a plan, Daniel. And we just saw the movie Colossal. Not a lot of people heard of this movie.
What did you put in that vape tank? Happy 420 to all of you who celebrate it. We saw Colossal. It's a movie directed by Nacho Libre, and it's about Anne Hathaway as an alcoholic who discovers that if she stands in this playground at a particular time of morning, she can control a giant monster on the other side of the world in South Korea.
When I was first told about this movie, I thought it was legitimately a movie about Anne Hathaway's like demon and like that's her like mental monster or some bullshit. I didn't know this was a legitimate monster movie. I didn't.
You didn't see any of the posters?
I saw the poster. I saw the poster when we walked into the theater.
And you didn't think?
I glanced at it.
I've never been so interested in a movie, and then it does one thing, and I just like dropped.
What about Passengers?
Oh, yeah.
Passengers was like mediocre, and then it got to terrible.
Okay, that's fair.
This was like, in consideration, I had it for like maybe an honorable mention this year for top 10, and then it just dives. Like, I'm talking empty the pool head first dive. Holy shit.
I'm kind of with you because, like, I would say this is one of those movies that's very, very ambitious. It's got a really cool concept, but the execution isn't quite there.
There's a lot of great ideas.
Yeah, there's an overabundance of ideas. A lot of them are really creative, a lot of them are really clever, but at the end, this movie, like, at the end, it just turns into, like, the dumbest shit. There was never a point where I was, like, angry watching this movie, because it really is interesting, and I always give it credit to, you know, when filmmakers try to do something really different. I just didn't like the direction that they took in.
There is one sound effect, and you know what I'm talking about. The movie literally emulates the sound effect of it shooting itself in the head, because it has gone so far past the point of belief that everything that had been built up emotionally, because this movie is dark.
Oh, it's super dark.
Like,
And
there's a point where I consider Jason Sudeikis in like a Best Supporting Actor nomination.
I still would say that.
Cause holy shit, I've never thought Jason Sudeikis was funny. Jason Sudeikis is terrifying.
Yeah.
And then giant monsters and shit. So, before we go any further, spoiler alert, if you just want to know our wrap-ups and thoughts out of 6 stars, scroll to the time code here. Let's do this. This movie handles something as severe as alcoholism and mixes it with something as innocuous as a guy stepping on a little girl's school project while she gets struck by lightning at the top of her head, bleeding a la Harry Potter, and that turns her into a giant monster because the toy that she's holding at the time is shaped like that giant monster.
Okay, was that the part that threw you, that like put you over the edge?
No, it wasn't.
My problem with this movie was you started off with one sort of metaphor, which was the monster as a metaphor for her alcoholism, Anne Hathaway's character. And then it kind of turns into this commentary about like toxic masculinity and like...
I wasn't thinking necessarily toxic masculinity. I was just thinking we were going on the alcoholism thread, but looking at it, because Anne Hathaway starts out as an alcoholic, and as she kind of moves away and gets a job,
I think the reason I say masculinity is because like you see Dan Stevens' character as well, who's like also a dick. Maybe that was their intention, was it to be alcoholism, but it felt like it was going on a completely tangential metaphor, and that threw me off, because it's like, I feel like if you just stuck...
You know what, we could, yeah, it could be.
I felt like the end of the movie should have been her confronting her own demons, as opposed to, like, Pacific Rimming Jason Sudeikis.
The thing is, the metaphor they chose at first, her stepping in this playground and being this giant monster, works if she's gonna continue to be like a bitch and a drunken asshole. But
then she fixes her problem.
Even Barnyard said it, like, don't go to the park.
Yeah.
Like, she's obsessing over this. She's plotting points and trying to figure out what she's doing and really worried about turning herself in. And all you have to do is just not do it.
Yeah. And if you have a dark secret like that, don't fucking tell nobody, especially if you think they're cool, because usually they ain't.
That twist, whenever Jason Sudeikis finds out that he is also a monster too, that made it actually kept the metaphor working. Because now Anne Hathaway actually has a real, like, conflict to stop him. I thought the idea of him, like, oh, I'm gonna go to the playground every morning if you don't do what I say. You know, to anybody else that sounds stupid, but knowing in the context that he could kill millions of people just by doing something so innocuous.
Probably not millions.
There's a lot of people in South Korea, dude.
It's like, oh, these giant sirens are going off. Oh, we know it's been happening for the last 2 weeks. Let's still go there.
You know what? And that's what's getting to my problem with this movie.
Yeah.
When the monster first shows up, you know, they have, like, viral videos made out of the clip. You know what? That is something this world would do.
Yeah.
And the way they're covering it on the news, fine. That's something we would totally do. It kind of takes itself realistically. But then, this monster keeps showing up again and again, and the people in South Korea haven't, like, completely abandoned this one sector that has been hit again and again for the past couple weeks.
The metaphors got totally messy, and it's like they totally were not following the rules that they already established.
Exactly.
And it's one of those movies that, you know, has a lot of cool concepts, but they don't really apply them.
What were you gonna say?
Was it just me, or at the beginning of the film, whenever you found out that when she stood there, the monster would appear? Did any of you think if she stood in the same place in Seoul that it would happen there? Because I did.
I didn't, just because I was with the movie at that point. As soon as you see her, like, kind of formulate this plan, and as soon as you see her walking with her bags to the taxi, I knew exactly what she was gonna try to do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you looked over at me, you were
man,
like...
because there's something so easy that you could do. The cops don't exist in this world. They just don't.
There's no cops in this
Because
film.
Jason Sudeikis sets his bar on fire.
Yeah. You don't see a single police officer in this film, except for in Seoul.
The military.
Yeah.
And that's it. If she seriously wants to stop this dude from killing millions of people, why just not call the cops?
Especially
Show your house that's been wrecked by him, your face that's been hit by him. Put this asshole in jail.
Yeah.
And for one, he was driving drunk like 7 nights a week.
Right.
And what's up with that douchebag best friend that did absolutely fucking nothing?
Yeah.
Which one?
That one douchebag that she fucked halfway through the movie?
Oh, that one? The one who was
the cuck? Yeah.
The one who was drinking a beer at 8:05 a.m. at a bar that was full of people.
Whenever this movie goes dark, and whenever it really starts to kind of show the abusive side of alcoholism, Jason Sudeikis gets scary.
Yeah.
Like, he pulls out fireworks in this scene where he's intimidating Dan Stevens.
Yeah.
That was very lackluster.
I'm just saying, he pulls it out, and he's just intimidating Dan Stevens, talking about, quote, the most irresponsible thing you can do in this bar. That was almost like Joe Pesci Goodfellas uncomfortable. Yeah. I think that's the best part about this movie, is that when it gets dark for, like, real things. Yeah. Like, there's always a point where I thought Jason Sudeikis was just gonna explode and break a bottle over Anne Hathaway's head.
I like that he was, like, kind of, like, subdued in a sense. But, like...
Because we were all thinking it.
Yeah, and it's, like, it's weird, because there's a subtlety to his performance, and then there's Anne Hathaway turning into a monster, and... This movie's weird.
It is kind of weird seeing him get that drunk and that violent, but when he starts addressing Anne Hathaway, when you think he's gonna hit her, he never does until, like, the very end. And then, as you said, they were getting into a fist fight. I mean, I hate to say that you do violence against women as, like, realistic, but someone who's that drunk and that off the handle. Like,
Yeah.
it seems odd that they would pull away from something like that. I mean, I'll say the monster looks cool.
Really, I thought the CG was kind of lame.
I mean, it's an indie movie.
I know, but it's still.
What, from a guy named Nacho, do you honestly expect it to be Caesar quality? And also, how the fuck does nobody see that she's like doing somebody should have caught her in the biggest covered story on the planet that has stopped all warfare in all countries according to this movie, Arrival style. That somebody would have had a camera seeing the girl going like this and like moving the robot. If y'all scroll to the time code, welcome back. We've been chatting about Colossal, and we're just gonna give our final thoughts and scores out of 6 stars. So I'm gonna start with
piece of shit.
I started off thinking about giving this like a 2.
You didn't like it from the beginning?
No, it was so stupid. The acting was horrible. The dialogue was just, it looks like they pulled random speeches out of a hat. And we're like, okay guys, this works.
I told you Anne Hathaway was shit.
Yeah, and I love her. She was what, executive producer in this too or something?
She produced it.
Well, at least it was interesting, so it was 2.5.
I was fidgety during the first part of the film. I still was watching it. I was still enjoying it. I thought it was stupid at first, like she did, but over time I grew to like whenever Jason Sudeikis came on. I thought he was like, oh shit, he's, you know, I think he gave a really good performance in this. Twists happen, and you find out things, and you find out somebody wasn't who they who were originally, and overall, dude, I really like it. I'll give it a fucking 5. Damn. I thought it was simple. It was to the point. It made sense in a way.
I thought this movie was interesting. It had a lot of interesting ideas, some good performances. I thought Anne Hathaway was good. Jason Sudeikis is great. The idea initially was simple, but in the end I thought it just got a little bit contrived and a little bit confusing. And I didn't like the ending section of this movie. I liked the first half much more, and I would have liked to see it stick to its original idea more. That being said, I still had a good time with it, so I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 6.
I'm gonna agree with her, 2.5, because I was originally considering this as one of the best movies I'd seen of the year in the first half. And then when it completely goes out the window and loses all logic, that's when the movie just dropped. And all investment I had about it just dropped with it. Fuck you guys, I think Anne Hathaway's great at it.
I didn't say she was bad,
You said, see, Daniel? Do you want me to reverse the clip? I will reverse the clip.
I told you Anne Hathaway was shit.
Yeah, and I love her.
I did not say she was shit in this movie. I just said, yeah, Anne Hathaway is shit. Because that conversation we were having yesterday.
I honestly think Anne Hathaway is really underrated as an actress.
I think she was good.
Because she puts herself in every role that she's in. And you know what? As a drunken, just completely inept, doesn't know what the fuck to do with her life writer, I believed it. I believed it wholeheartedly. If there's only one person that I really didn't give a shit about, it was Dan Stevens, but I don't think the movie gives a shit about him either.
Is that the British dude?
Yeah. Jason Sudeikis, you know what? Let's look at him for Best Supporting Actor, because that is some shit that even people that don't like this movie, I think they're going to start talking about Jason Sudeikis a lot more.
It definitely wasn't We're the Millers in here.
Somebody give me a verdict.
With the HK verdict of 3.25,
this is just below recommendable from us.
recommendable is 3, isn't it?
Recommendable is 3.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Since fucking when?
Since always.
We need a fucking scale.
I have a scale.
What is the scale?
I've had the scale.
We did it on
before you
paper,
do.
motherfucker.
Nobody uses paper anymore. What the fuck is this, 1950?
I use paper.
Killing the rainforest.
For fucking rolling them joints.
Welcome to the HalfKocked
420.
420 episode. If y'all like this, please click the like button. When we've got new videos come up, subscribe to find out when we're releasing them. Also click the bell next to the subscribe button to get notifications. As far as social media, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. He's got a blog, liammgahan.wordpress.com. He's covering a lot of Netflix movies that we're not, so go ahead and check out some of his opinions there.
That's what I'm saying.
And Noah, our friend, is the Cinema Geek on Instagram. He's a great dude. Check him out. We just started a new series called Viewer's Choice. So, if you want to let us know what movies you want us to review, put it in the comment section below. Or go to the Viewer's Choice introduction video and put it down there. It'll be a lot easier for me to pick up. We'll take all movies, anime, foreign, classic, bad, good, what the fuckery, and we'll review it for you.
Just tell us what you want us to review. Us fucking bunch of hooligans, tell us what you want us to review, because we will fucking do it, because we're desperate motherfuckers. We need more than 126 subscribers.
Only rule I've got is if we've already done a video on it, why bother? Yeah, why the fuck bother?
Why would you ask us to review fucking Independence Day Resurgence whenever we that fucking review was our highest viewed video for a long time?
It was, yeah,
like 3 months.
We're gonna try to see Free Fire. I'm also gonna try to see Jesus Bro, the Cinema Snobs movie, and if we can get around to it, I know Matt wants to watch Siren, that one Amazon movie that he wanted us to check out. So we've got that. In 2 weeks we've got Guardians. So this next week we might fill in the blanks with some indie movies here and there, but
WWE Films has a movie coming out.
Oh yeah, that Slight movie.
Yeah.
We could watch The Circle. Anyway, I'm gonna put on my seatbelt. I'm gonna get us the hell out of here. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Good night. See you later.